back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chris Jameson with SF Lending, your hard money lender for life. And this is the last segment of the 300 level series, Intro to Best Practices. This is Hard Money 308, Systems, Software, and Forms. Now, in this section, we're going to talk about leveraging, automating, and innovating your real estate business using real estate forms and systems and software. 1, lead generation. How are you developing leads? And is that system automated? Are you improving it? Dialer, call recorder, skip tracer. Do you have access to that kind of software? Customer relationship management, CRM. If you're not using a CRM these days, you are way behind the curve. Follow-up. What are your follow-up systems and strategies? Property management software. And lastly, real estate forms. You've got to be constantly strategically improving and innovating your business to be able to do more with less time, automate the processes so you can scale it and grow. Lead generation. Here is a quick list of where you can get access to leads in today's market. 1, Propelio lead list. It is a phenomenal source of probates, pre-foreclosures, trustees, affidavits of heirship. The list is updated daily, and you can use some of the strategies that the guys over Propelio teach to get deals before other people. 2, wholesalers. You can use wholesalers as your lead generation strategy. You can have people that preview your emails for you to weed out the bad deals and send you the good ones. You've got realtors, you got mailers, you got door knocking. Check out this awesome presentation that Daniel Moore put together on vehicle sticker ads. Go check that out. You've got lists, turned off utility lists. He's got a presentation for that too. Go look at that. There's other lists like vacant, fire. There's PPC campaigns that you can run. There's phone dialers. There's Facebook ads. There's a bunch of lead generation strategies that you can use. You just have to figure out what works best for you, your level of experience, and your budget. CRM. Let's talk about the CRM for a minute. I think this is the single most important component of your business model. You could be able to implement systems, leverage resources from automation to pre-populated forms to DocuSign to things that CRMs have grown a ton in the last several years to have pretty much unlimited capabilities. You've got types like Salesforce, where they've got plugins for all kinds of source in every kind of business and industry. You've got Podio that has pre-built layouts for investors, for wholesalers. You've got Zoho. They've got pre-built, I think Property Mob is one that I've used in the past. They've got pre-built layouts. All right, you can leverage other people's time and resources. You've got these pre-built and predefined layouts that are configured specifically for investors or wholesalers, so you can tap into those. Automation. You can automate tasks and follow-up, sending things to VAs or assistants or mailhouse or whatever you can think of. There's a way to customize most, if not all, of these CRMs to enable you to better function in whatever capacity that you're trying to improve or develop into. With the tasks and follow-ups, right? You can set reminders. The fortune is in the follow-ups. I've heard upwards of 40% of sales coming from follow-up calls for wholesaler buying directly from sellers. You got to follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. Also, there's content marketing. You can set up automated email campaigns. You can educate your sellers, right? Why work with a wholesaler? Why work with an investor? You can do the same thing. We do it with our lending company. CRMs are crazy, and they're so innovative because they're always changing, they're always improving. You always can have a plug. People are developing new systems and software to add into the CRMs that make them even more capable. Then you've got your dialer, call recorder, and skip tracer. You've got Google Voice that you can set up and have. You can mass text from there. You have a bunch of functionality in Google Voice. You've got Mojo Dialer. You've got CallFire, CallRail. These are call recording systems. So if you have people that are making your buy calls or calling into a number for a VA or a person that you've got taking your initial calls and going through a kind of lead questionnaire type thing, you can record those calls and train them. If you're making outbound calls to get leads in the door, then you can also record those and train your people how to better approach different scenarios and navigate the waters of distress and emotional home sellers. You've also got Skip Genie and TLO, which are skip tracing software that you can use to get these lists. Go on Propelio, get the affidavit of airship list. Use a skip tracer to get the person's information. I think Daniel had recommended sending like an envelope to stick out because everyone these days are sending postcards. So send like a manila. So send like a manila envelope and stick out, and be able to reach these people real time because that lead list is updated daily. So get the list, get the person, use a skip trace, call them, send them a original piece of mail that stands out, and be ahead of the game in that regard. And it's fantastic if these systems integrate with the CRM. Like I said before, the CRMs are expanding considerably with capacity and integration. So try to plug in where you can these types of additional systems and software to plug into your CRM. You've also got property management software. You've got programs like Resman, Buildium, Appfolio, Tenant Cloud, Propertyware, and oftentimes they have accounting or marketing functions built into them. They've got tenant screening, they can go online, pay their rent. Again, minimize the things that you have to do that take time out of your day, right? Collecting rent payments from someone, going to the bank and depositing them. That takes a ton of time, right? Time is a valuable resource. You never get it back. So use technology, use these kind of systems and software to make it easier on yourself and easier for the tenants to pay, and easier for your accountants to stay current with your bookkeeping, because we all know how important that is. Lastly, real estate forms. Disclosure, I am not an attorney, so please consult with yours. I am not one. These are contracts and forms that I've used in the past as an investor, and it's just my personal recommendation, not legal advice whatsoever. So go out and get a purchase and sale agreement, right? If you're working with a realtor, you can get a TREC contract. You can familiarize yourself with assignment of contract and appropriate affidavits. Affidavit of airship form, affidavit of memorandum. There's different types of things. There's different types of affidavits you should familiarize yourself with. Property management agreements and leases and notices. Make sure to familiarize yourself with that. Different states have different laws, right? Up in Colorado, Washington, different areas, they have legalized pot. You want to make sure that you're protected for grow houses or groweries inside your rental properties. In Texas, you've got a pretty strong national lease that you can implement. Just make sure, again, reviewed by an attorney, and everything is included in there that you need and want to have. Contractor agreement. I highly recommend getting your own contractor agreement, not relying on the one if a contractor sends you one because it's in their favor. So develop your own contractor agreement. Make sure to include a lien waiver and a W-9. Never send out money without first collecting a W-9. That's the tax form for you to be able to 1099 them to write that expense off on your tax returns. The IRS has significantly cracked down on filing 1099s for business tax returns. You've got a scope of work and rehab estimator. Make sure you have something like that in your tool belt. A deal analyzer, like I said before, you can go to sflending.com, get access to a deal analyzer. Caller lead questionnaire. If you're having someone or you're trying to develop a scalable model where you have calls coming in and you have a specific sheet, a call questionnaire I used to use when I was first starting out, address, name, just run through a whole list of questions that anyone can pre-screen your calls to determine if they're worth you following up on or scheduling an appointment for. Lastly, scripts. If you're trying to build a scalable model and you want to hire additional people in different components of your business, you want to make sure to have scripts and revisit those scripts and train people to be able to communicate with potential sellers so that they know what to say and how to say it in a way that you would say it to build rapport and be able to get lead appointments and close deals and essentially buy more houses. That concludes Hard Money 308, Systems, Software, and Forms. It's been a joy. This is Chris Jameson with SF Lending, your hard money lender for life. Stay tuned for Hard Money 400 level series, where I'm going to go through advanced strategies The team at SF Lending has bought hundreds of houses, literally hundreds of houses, and we have originated over 200 million in hard money loans. We know a thing or two about advanced strategies, and this section is going to be my favorite because I'm going to teach you a lot of what I know about being an individual investor to set you up for success. Again, Chris Jameson, SF Lending, your hard money lender for life.